Welcome back to my channel, where I go ahead and actually give you my recommendations for new streaming content up front. That's right, I give you the recommendation right up front. And then I hope that you like me enough to go and actually stick around and see why I gave you those recommendations. Today, I'm going to go ahead and actually take a look at Department Q on Netflix. Now, for target audience members, and by target, I mean people that are into crime, mystery thrillers, cold cases, and maybe even English detective stories. I'm going to go and actually suggest that you go and actually watch at least one episode of this particular series. Conversely, if you are a casual, none of those other genres appeal to you at all, but you're just trying to see if this was worth your time, I'm going to also tell you to watch one episode. Like how it sounds? Does it sound like I'm on the fence on these? Here, I'm going to tell you. I actually found this moderately entertaining. Moderately entertaining. Huh. I guess you want to know my perspective on if I consider myself a target or a casual for this. Tell you what, you stay tuned and I'll let you know.
Team Doolally to what I owe this pain.
We located the driver.
Where is this driver?
We've been rattling his cage.
Department Q is a crime thriller that premiered in May of 2025 on Netflix. The series has 9 episodes for the first season, and they're roughly about 55 minutes each. It stars Lee Byrne as DC Rose Dixon, Matthew Good as DCI Carl Mork, and Chloe Perry as Merritt Lingard. IMDb has the synopsis like this. Carl, a former top-rated detective, is racked with guilt following an attack that left his partner paralyzed and another policeman dead. On his return to work, Carl is assigned to a cold case that will consume his life. So when you look at a synopsis like that, you're kind of like, all right, they've kind of thrown it out there of there's past trauma, there's, coming back, probably got some issues going on with them, all that kind of stuff. You kind of figure out, all right, with that type of synopsis, what is this like? What kind of series would you go ahead and actually say this is similar to? I would go ahead and actually say it's very similar to like some of those series that have the unlikable smart character, like House, like with Sherlock. And this also has some intertwinings of Bosch, Luther, and The Killer. Those are some series that I think are very similar to the way that this particular series is set up. So you can kind of get a feel of what this is like. Department Q is this Scottish thriller that's based on a book series by Jussi Adler Olsen. And I will just tell you that English detective stories are an acquired taste. Like Luther kind of gives like the violence that has like that vigilante vibe, right? And then he's going out there, he's just doing whatever it is to solve the case. Sherlock is always like intellectual, has a narcissistic vibe to him and things like that, especially the ones with the later versions of it, like with Benedict Cumberbatch and I forget the other guy's one, but when it was Elementary on CBS network, roughly about 5 years ago or so. And some English stories, especially detective stories, can be really dry. And it kind of really heavily depends on the personalities that you vibe with instead of the cases. The cases aren't usually the things that really kind of drive you, it is really personalities. And then there's other times where they get an antagonist that spurs them forward. And that's the main driver that goes about this. So for me, I'm kind of like 50-50 with like British detective stories myself. But generally speaking, mysteries, thrillers, they're really like in my wheelhouse. I like those genre of stories, characters, all that kind of stuff. With that being said on there, surprise, I'm a main character. I'm a target audience for this. I bet you thought I was going to be a casual, but I'm not. So let's go ahead and actually keep that in mind because you should always know what perspective your reviewer has when they give you that recommendation. Now you know mine. So if you like how that sounds, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe. And now let's dive into Department Q. So first, I like to go ahead and actually just go over my like notes, things that kind of came up to me while I was watching these episodes on there, just to kind of see these first 2 episodes. What did they trigger? What were some of my thoughts going on there? So like in episode 1, the opening scene hits hard. It, as the young kids say, it slaps. Okay. All right. I'll stop embarrassing myself. But that opening scene is very good for this particular series. Once we get past that, we go ahead and actually see the arrogance of the lead detective of Carl Mork is very much, he's like House. That is the one name that just popped in my mind automatically. Arrogant, very intelligent, but he's gone through some stuff, and we know what the stuff is in the very beginning. And he, rather than just admit where he's at, he just cuts out, lashes out the world. That's this character, right? Um, the aftermath of the shooting and the case that he's going up against, as far as talking about things like that, it's all very deliberate. It's all set up. It's the way that it's supposed to be. He was destined to go ahead and actually have this be his first case. The twist of at the end of the first episode was really good. It's always paramount for these series to kind of keep spurring people forward or what have you. This isn't like network television where they get a chance to they get 25 to 26 episodes on there. They have to spur you along to go and actually go to that next episode. And so it's a critical part of if these series are worth your time. In this one, episode 1, it is a good spurring on if you like these characters. In episode 2, the episode builds up more difficulty in adapting after the attack, right? So him trying to go and actually navigate life, police work, all that kind of crazy stuff. And so with that being his focus on there, you get diving into more of his reasonings of how he's going to go and actually adjust to life, what he's going to do, all that kind of good stuff. You learn a little bit more about the B story of this attorney, Merritt Lingard, and her situation. And from what you see from her life, let's just say her life pre and then her life post, and I can't tell you what because that would be spoiling it, but you can see that she's very much like Detective Carl Mork in this situation, or what have you. So there's that B story that's going on, and it's one of those things that is very intriguing in this particular series. The last 10 minutes of episode 2 are pretty good in like the story and the acting. They kind of incite watching that episode because they like slowly build you up to go ahead and actually make you want to see what's going on into the next one. So again, paramount to go ahead and have success in these types of streaming shows is to make you want to watch the next episode. Episode 2 did that as well. So when I look at storytelling, big thing that you'll hear me talk about is pacing, because for me, you've got to pace things well. Give me enough time to set up characters, but don't linger too long. Don't have too many boring spots in there because I need to be entertained. I am probably, I have average intelligence. I'm not super smart. I'm not super dumb. You just got to keep me entertained by dialogue, by action, by something carrying forward or what have you. If you don't pace things well, I become bored. I become desensitized to whatever you're doing. And hell, here's my smartphone and I'm ready to go and actually start surfing. So pacing here, it was okay. It wasn't great, but there are times that it drags and kind of made me be like, okay, do I really want to get through this or not? There are other points that it actually it does go and actually move forward, but the story being told as it is, it just got a little boring for me. And because the detective is now exploring like a cold case or what have you, there's opportunities to kind of do some things differently to tell the story, like maybe flashbacks or narratives or something of that nature that kind of pull you in. Some entertainment devices that they could introduce, but they don't do that. And so it's just the way that it's told is just not entertaining for me. Okay, we know that Detective Mork doesn't want his assignment because he's a cop. He's a cop at heart. He's an inspector. He was this top level cop, and now he's doing cold cases that nobody wants. He's anti-authoritarian authority. He has sarcasm. He has intellect overdrive, and sometimes that character can kind of grate on you a little bit. Kind of expect it most times now, but I don't know. It just kind of got mundane. I know that they were trying to go ahead and actually do this almost like a Mulder and X-Files type of thing. Like, oh, we stick them down here in cold cases, let them do that, and that's the kind of vibes that they're giving. But again, just the way that their storytelling is just not that great or what have you. The B plot that's going on with the other lady is okay, but it's not that intriguing or whatever. There's also awkward romance that they kind of throw in. I believe the second episode is when they kind of throw that in there for you. And that's just kind of like, okay, and that's a little crazy. So for me overall, I don't have a great feel for the characters and their story here. And so for me, the storytelling for Department Q is going to be about a C. Overall, I'm actually fine with the actors working with the script and the story as it's written. I think Matthew Good as Mork walks the line of arrogance and cocky to overconfidence and insecure pretty well. I think he's doing all he can with that script and what he's supposed to do with it. And some of the role players are decent as far as what they're doing. I do like, I want to say his name is Alexeyev Manvelov. Okay, I probably destroyed that man's name. But he plays Akram Salim. And I do like his character. He's more the positive and upflow character, and is the antithesis of Detective Moore character. So I'm sure we're meant to like him, and I do like him. But I like the way the actor is portraying him is pretty solid on there. But overall, I think the way that the script is written, the story is told, and things like that, that it's kind of middle of the road for this particular genre. It's not particularly super entertaining, whatever. But the actors, I'm giving them a benefit of the doubt, and I think that they did pretty solid for what they were written. So I'm going to give acting as a B. My final thoughts for this show is that this is decent. This is a decent one. It's capable. It's a little better than average type of show for crime mystery detective stories or what have you. The opening scene is enough to kind of keep you engaged for at least that first whole episode, and then everything that follows just has to go ahead and actually be for you. Do you like the characters? Do you like the story that's being told? Do you like the way that's being presented? I would argue that in that episode 1, you get all that you want, whether you're a main target audience or a casual. You get enough there to make your decision on if you want to move on with it or not. But it is worth at least a 1 episode watch for both audiences. So that's what I have for Department Q, now showing on Netflix. Check it out.
He's English.
I'm so sorry.
You stayed for the entire review. I appreciate you. I do. Since you are a champ like that, I feel that you should just go ahead and actually just do the like, thumbs up.
He is cute, but he is...
In an insane world, it is the same who is called crazy.
Okay, you love this video. If you like it so much that you feel like, look, I have to have more of his reviews in my life, then you should definitely subscribe to the channel and do that. And if you don't like nothing, then you should leave a comment below and let me know what I could do better. Don't be mean. Don't be doing all that kind of stuff, okay? You can be very much critical on me. I'm here for that, okay? But if you don't apply to any of those, if you don't like me enough to like or subscribe or comment or anything like that, you should watch another video and then make a determination about me. Fair enough? All right, cool. All right, but until the next time, I'll holler at you. Take care of yourself.
Now that's a happy ending. Or is it? Because everything's over now. And all that's left is you and the infinite void.